Welcome back, everybody. Our next session is Masterclass 5 is member experience. We've got a couple online that are going to join the session. Mike will be going first, then James, and then Tony in our studio with friends. So just the people that will be talking, well, three of the five. Tony's been a member of Toastmasters for 22 years and is passionate about ensuring inclusion of one and all. She is the district's inaugural director and current administration manager. Her personal experience developed an empathy with many members from a wide variety of backgrounds and accessibility standpoints. PR in relation to accessibility for all will enable our clubs to offer a much more stringent and comprehensive network that will ensure inclusivity and positive moral support for members from all walks of life that our clubs all stand to benefit from. Mike joined in 1998 and through seeing the wide variety of help available has developed a keen interest in communication and how simple changes can have large effects. He believes that learning to tell personal stories more effectively will over time improve the storyline for everyone. James Edley celebrates 10 years of membership this year and has served in both club and district leadership roles. He's a keen believer in the power of communication and feedback to help with continual improvement, and that the best way of tackling a challenge is to meet it head on. So I believe we're starting with Mike. Please welcome Mike Diggins.
Good afternoon, everyone. While I'm jacking up a share, I'll just ask you to think on the way we progressed through today. And that is, we started off, if you remember Neil's keynote, he talked about word of mouth, and we've moved on to what those words might be, stories. Now we're going to look at a demographic that is full of stories. And that is the demographic of accessibility. What we're going to look at is the difference between accessibility and disability, because they're not the same. We're going to look at some examples and some definitions. A disability is something that you can see. It's a person in a wheelchair. It's a person who's has a physical or mental condition that limits their movements, their senses, or their activities. Accessibility is any issue that limits people's confidence. And that's where Toastmasters comes in, because we're about confidence. If you look at our website, the top left said, "We sell confidence." And how do we achieve it? We do it through providing a safe and sound platform. And that is important to a lot of people because there are so many barriers to confidence. I've got a few myself, more as I've put a few years on. But we have cultural barriers. We've already talked about English as a second language and the understanding there. We've got barriers with the backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, trust issues. Even things like shaking hands is anathema to some cultures. We've got barriers through religion, so we don't talk about religion, right? Because of the chances of misunderstanding. Age, I've already mentioned. Everybody thinks that we can't use computers. That's not entirely true, but sometimes we have difficulty retaining information, and as a result, we pretend we can't use computers. And physical, our senses aren't what they used to be. There are a few others. I'm going to pass over to James Edley to just go through the rest of this slide, and then to Tony to lead the panel discussion. James.
Thank you, Mike. So breathing, I guess, not just the visible, not just, eyes, having breathing, it's more kind of nerves and there's more types of breathing rather than just the one that's really apparent. Dyslexia, it's so he's going to take a note, but also, I guess, actually, transcribing your mind, you have transcribing your thoughts into actual, text or actual, being understood. It's also part of it. You got your neurodiversity, they got, your, various ADHD and all the other, so kind of, we might have it might probably it's the same because of, how they communicate or, how they interpret words as they come through, words come through the person's ears. You got social anxiety, so it's, I guess it's probably the most visible one out of all the above. You can, expression depending on either, is it expressive or expressee? What else? Let's ask Tony to help us with this difficult endeavour. Tony, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, James. Now, I have succumbed to very valuable Toastmasters to answer a few questions for me and to share with us a little of their experience with some of the accessibility challenges that they have had within their clubs, and in some instances this also transfers through to area and to division. So I will hand over to the man that does not need a microphone and just ask him to share a little bit about mobility type access challenges that can be faced within a club situation. Peter.
Thank you, Tony. I don't need a microphone, no. I do need a line, thank you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Thank you. No, yes, that's good. Thank you. Mobility, yes. There's been several things in clubs that I've experienced over the years. One of them is my beautiful friend here next to me, Tony, to be able to guide them into the meeting. They've got so much experience and knowledge to help people in meetings, how they've got that sense gone. I've also had another friend of mine many years ago. He was in a wheelchair and I helped him tremendously with it. And he became a good friend of mine, was Jonathan Darby, and I used to help him in and out of wagons when I was still the sergeant, the logistics manager, but he got too big and heavy because you put muscle on at the gym. But the most important thing is having accessibility in the clubs. You've got it, but then when you go to an area contest or a division contest, some places haven't got it. For example, Auckland Barnes, I'm sure when we meet upstairs in the boardroom, we have not got a lift. So we have to have the meeting downstairs for that particular reason. And it's quite amazing how we can get people outside, inside, and they've thoroughly enjoyed themselves because they are part of the team and the group. Shall I pass it on?
I'd like to introduce someone.
Certainly.
Thank you very much, BJ. And I've also invited the current Division O Director, Sam Deep, who's really into PR. He's got an amazing team set up in Division O, which is South Auckland, for those of you who may not be quite so aware. And I've asked him to have a wee focus for us on potentially English as a second language within clubs and some of the challenges that may be faced in relation to that. So, Sandy, thank you.
I belong to Botany Toastmasters Club, and only 6% of our members are native English speakers, and rest 94% are having English as second or third language. Something like me, English is my third language. I started learning English when I was 10, and there are a few members who started learning English after the age of 20 or 25. So what do they do? They think in their native language first, and then they translate that into English. Let me give you one example. So if they want to say, open the windows, they'll say, open the doors of the windows. Actually, we understand what they are trying to say, but then they are trying to translate. At least they are trying, which is important. And we all appreciate that. I have seen native English speakers attending our meetings as guests, but then they don't continue for long. I see that non-native English speakers, they continue with our club. I feel the main reason for that might be they see some Toastmasters struggling there, but then next time they see, oh, that Toastmaster has improved significantly. And they feel, I can also make mistakes. So this is a platform to make mistakes and then excel here and then take it to your workplace or take it to your personal life. That way, when you deliver speeches and funnel or marriages, you do crystal clear, sharp, isn't it? So that's what I feel that whenever we have members from diverse background and English as second language, we can come and try few things, make mistakes, but learn and excel.
Sure.
There's a couple of things that I found when I've had contests. As I said, my beautiful friend here, Tony, green, orange, red. Tony can't see the colours. So before you go into a contest, let the person know the time and know that they can call out that colours for the people. There's also another friend of mine, she's totally colourblind, she can see, but she can't see colours. So call out the colours for the people in contests, and they will know. Let the timers know. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much, BJ. And it's quite interesting. I sit here this morning and I've been giggling when all of your visual crap goes astray. I am in my term as district director in 2018, 2019. I was world famous for referring to visual crap all the time. So it's amazing. Now, just be aware that if you're using visuals and you have visually impaired people in your clubs, make sure that they are included in what is being displayed on the screen. Make sure there's some sort of connection for them so we're not left completely in the, if you excuse the ambiguity, dark. Now, the reason we've been highlighting accessibility for all, and it covers a whole range of spectrums, is for us as club members, as PR officers, as key members of our teams, for our clubs, promoting our clubs, it's something that we can actually use as far as promotion goes. Let's say if you're doing a Facebook update after you've had a meeting or something like that, if you have a member in your club that is happy for you and comfortable for you to share like a snippet or an inspiration from something that they have gained from overcoming anxiety, from being able to get up on the stage, learn that they need to actually breathe before they can speak, because in some instances that is essential. Some people are that nervous that their natural inclination to breathe is gone. We need to be aware of the fears and the concerns and the challenges that our members face, and that's all part of being able to assist them in developing their confidence. And at the end of the day, if they develop their confidence, they're going out, they're talking about it, they're bringing more people to our clubs because they feel respected, they feel supported, and they feel that they are being given a fair platform with which to present their personal situations and also to be able to reflect back on their own personal growth. And none of us know where this journey can take us. None of us know. So we need to be aware of the needs, and there's probably members in this room that have some of those situations that do generate or create accessibility challenges for them. And it's about making sure that we are encompassing all of those members, share their stories if they are comfortable with it, and use it as a PR tool to be able to move our clubs forward as accepting and accessible. I'd now like to hand back to James for some comments, and he will pass back to Mike to close off the session. Thank you.
James.
Great. Problem solved. Well, you know, I guess, as I've heard, as I've heard, accessibility is not just, it's not visible, it's also, something that you can't really see. So, I mean, it's always, most of the stuff is, most of the time it can be, easily resolved. It's not like we're asking people to perform rocket surgery or, I don't know, or do anything too crazy. Just, be observant of, hang on, there's a member, can't see the colours. How should we, how should we make sure they're actually included in this meeting? So, but I mean, most of the time it doesn't take a lot, but it's good to remember, it's good to remember that, yes, they're all members as well, and valued members at that. So back to you, Mike.
Thank you, James. Yes, I have to say I have no idea of where we are with the timing, which makes me very dangerous at the moment, because this could go on for hours. In fact, we have done a workshop on this much longer and trying to bring out things from the audience. I'll just give you an example, though, a personal example. My wife and I are both selectively deaf, but we're selectively deaf in different ways. She has a general what? She always has said I don't listen to what she says, but never mind. She has a general hearing loss. I can't hear certain letters, particularly T's, which make some words where those two come together quite difficult. Now, we could fight about it. And we have done. Or we can learn to cope with it, because that is the key to this. I'm sure that some of you must be thinking, well, this is something that I do. It's something that I find a challenge, and I've worked out a way of coping with it. I know Tony told me the story of how she looks at the speaker when they're speaking, not the person with the microphone, but the loudspeaker the sound's coming from. So it looks like she isn't paying attention, and anything like that can just change people's opinions of you, and anything like that can sap your confidence. It's very easy to not say anything if you can't if you can't hear what else is going on in the room. But there is one key point that I want to bring out of this before I call finally for Tony to close off the session, and that is that the only person who can do anything about it is you. You know what you can and what you can't do. You know situations that you might struggle with. The more you tell people, and particularly Toastmasters, that is the case, the more they want to help you. That's my experience. And that's the experience I've had from anybody who's fronted up with this. The more you say, the more they want to help you. But you can do something as well. Just ask, "Are you okay?" And then maybe things start changing for you. And that's how we deal with accessibility. Something that doesn't stop your movement, etc., but it does sap your confidence. Tony, back to you.
Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you, James. Thank you, BJ. Thank you, Sandy. We are out of time. Thank you, Tony.